I want to share something I discovered yesterday. So it was a 5-5 portal. I go through phases with energies of whether I need to just feel and go through it, or whether I need to learn and feed myself the knowledge of what it is that we're moving through from professionals, people with the wisdom, astrologers, you know, that kind of thing. And it's been a bit of a blend of both. This past week with the 5-5, it was a just feel it, and it was a really interesting day for me, very, very slow, and almost as if my internal world matched the weather. It was very cloudy and cold, but then around 1-2 p.m. we had a downpour, and then the sun came out, and my internal world shifted with that. There was a clearing that happened, and then a need to move things in my space, like a new beginning, a fresh start of some kind. And the card, I felt guided to pull a card, and it kind of mirrored that. It was the entering the mystery. So that's kind of like a restart point, a number one, a revisit. So that felt quite exciting. It felt there's been a few things where I feel like there's been a bit of stagnancy, and I could feel inwardly that there was going to be a shift. And there was also a really divinely timed task that I was set. It's an interesting way I worded that, because my bracelet, an Ankh bracelet that's been very active this year, actually, it reappeared, and then I placed it around a center altar in a circle, and the wax of the candle just went crazy when everybody arrived, and melted all around and melted my bracelet into the wax. And there were many reasons that have appeared for why that happened. But yesterday was the day after that shift where I was guided to take it out of the wax and go through the slow process of melting it. And I thought I could just break the wax, but it loosened one of the rings and one of the unks came free. Lots of message and symbolism of what it was showing me through that whole process as well. Back to the point of the video. Nothing like a bit of context. I'm good at that, aren't I? Yeah, so entering the mystery, like a fresh start of some kind, and it's symbolized with the Ankh of how long it has been since I've asked, can I take it out of the wax? And it's like, no, not yet. But yesterday was the day. Then fast forward to the evening, I couldn't get to sleep. It's been something happening quite a lot. Not the best sleeps at the moment. And my mind was taken to numbers, dates, and the 6th especially. It's a bit of a sad day. Things happening today that make me feel a little bit sad. And I just became fixated on the numerology, or a numerology, a way to look at, you know, how you, with numerology, where you take it down to the single digit. So we know that 2025 is a 9. This year is a 9 year. So there's a lot about completions, bringing things to completion, and also new starts, because those two things come together, right? And so I was working out the numerology of today, of the 6th of May. So that's a 6 and a 5 and 11 plus the 9. It gives you a 20. Okay, so a 2 with a 0, so you can take that down to a 2. Another interesting number with lots of the things that have been happening around in my life maybe this means something for you. Maybe that's why I'm sharing it. So then I did the 7th of May, and it was 21. Then the 8th of May was 22 and 23, and I've taken this all the way through until June. And the numbers just keep adding on. Okay, so a 2 and then a 1, 2, 3, 4 next to them. I'll try and show you. Okay, let me do I'll tell the other bit first, and I'll show you the whole page. So then I went back to the 1st of the month, because I thought, well, if that's a 2 and then another series of single digits next to it, beginning and in order, what have we been moving through for the first 5 days of May? And so each one, so a 1 plus a 5 plus a 9. Okay, so 15, which takes you back to a 1 and a 5, a 9, a 15, which is a 6, right? So a 1 and a 5 is a 6. Ignore that's a line there, not a number. So a 15 and a 6, and I kept seeing this loop. I kept seeing just a loop. Every time I worked the numbers out, I saw a loop. And then the same happened with the 2nd of May. So the 2nd of May, which 2 and 5 are 7, plus the 9 is 16, 1 and 6 is a 7. So a 7 there, a 7 there, a loop. It was another loop. It just was really interesting. But you then have, when I've written them down and worked it out this morning, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then so a 1 with a 0, and then it jumps to a 2 with a 0, and then the 2 takes you into this consecutive run. Another great round of a second round in a sense is how it felt. So here I am sharing it because there's something meaningful in this month. There's something meaningful in the journey of a new beginning, a new point. It's not necessarily it's a learning that through the second time round you can see that it's not always something that you need to create and do anew. It's building on the foundations of the first time round, which were already there, and it's acknowledging them, accepting them, seeing them for what they are, and instead of trying to always change, embrace that you have already laid the tracks. This is why I had to do this video, because I needed that point to be spoken. I wonder if that resonates with others. It really does for me. A point where you have to acknowledge that what you are doing is what you are doing. You don't always need to be changing and bettering and fitting people's expectations that are only things that you've created in your mind. Yeah, okay, get lost in the numbers if you feel called to. June was interesting. It did the same thing. It repeated the first few numbers and then I stopped, but maybe that happens every month and I've only just discovered it. But I just found that 5-5 being the 1 in a sense, like the 1, and then the 6 being the 2. That's where I've taken, yeah, look, let's go even further. Now I'm looking, it's not about the consecutive, that becomes a 3, that becomes a 4, that becomes a 5, that becomes a 6. So we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a new beginning. Does that make sense? Okay.